What is up, everyone? I understand it looks a little funky. Jordan's on this thing twice right now.
What?
We're waiting. Yeah, you're on it twice. I understand it looks weird. Jordan, actually, if you just lean this way, there you go. Now you're only on it once.
Ooh.
I guess I can do this. There. Oh wait, no, wrong one.
No,
There
I'd
you
rather
go.
be on it twice.
I know. I just turned Adam's off for a second. Guys, Adam is running late. He's going to be here in a quarter of a second. Yeah. How are we doing tonight? It is busy. It is a busy night.
It's just a busy time of year, but it's nice outside.
It is nice outside.
I think wherever you are right now, I talked to a lot of people today at work that were in different parts of the country, and everyone said the same thing, that it's just beautiful today. So I hope you got some outside time.
Oh, yes. Maxwell's feeling dangerous. I don't know what that means.
I think that's good.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, so it's good to have you guys here. It's just been one of those recordings, I guess. I feel like we've been running into that a lot recently.
Yeah, we'll get back into the swing of things, We'll get back into the groove.
The groove.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be doing our mock draft tonight. We just kind of have to wait for Adam. And we figured instead of keep waiting or making you guys stay on that screen the whole time, we could talk to us. Maxwell, what does it mean that you are feeling dangerous? Also, I guess now would be a good time. Jordan, I should have found a game for us to do.
Here, I have a game for us. We'll talk about it when we start recording the pod, but the Commanders up for sale.
Can't see you. You got to scoot a little.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Commanders looking like they're going to get sold. Jake, if you bought the Commanders and you were the new owner, what's the first thing you would do to right that ship? Like, hey, you get the keys. What do you do?
The very first thing, I am sending 2 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson.
Yes, that is exactly what I was going to say.
The very first thing. Gosh, I can't... listen, who knows how Sam Howell is, right?
He would be an excellent backup to Lamar Jackson. That is what I believe.
An excellent backup to Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how you just... I don't understand all these teams that say they're not interested, right? Because that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know how you're not interested.
I'm telling you, it's collusion. I stand by that. It is collusion. Joey says, at least it's the off-season, plenty of time to get things figured out before the season begins. Yes.
Indeed.
That is the time. I now that we have the YouTube channel, I think we could do a few more things, right? We could go... depending on schedules and everything, we could do like a show like in the morning. Like if I have an hour before the thing, we could do like a start sit live thing on Facebook or whatever, or just something. Yeah.
Oh, before Sunday or something like that.
Just something fun. I think we could make some cool graphics for like our Thursday night Top Gun and all that stuff.
I'm trying to step up my graphics game this year. You guys saw you got a little taste of it with the Masters thing. Oh, speaking of which, Jake, who won?
I don't know. I don't know.
Does that mean it was me and you just don't want to say it?
Yes, you. Oh, that. Yes, you did win.
Mm-hmm.
1 vote. Adam didn't get a single vote.
Hurts.
In fairness, only 7 people voted. So.
All right. Take that.
John
and I voted for myself, so that is one of the votes.
John says, I got a game you could play. Name the NHL teams that have outscored Denver this year. Well, John, I don't follow NHL at all, so I couldn't tell you.
Perhaps the Winnipeg Jets?
I didn't
That's a team.
That's true. That is true. Are the Devils still a team? The New Jersey Devils?
I think so.
Yeah. Hockey is not our thing. Dan Snyder is the worst. I would rename them to something better than the Commanders. Can't do that, though. Like, that is marketing. Like, you can't change your name that many times.
It's too late.
John said, nope. Do you think that means that that's a no to the New Jersey Devils?
I'm looking it up right now.
The St. Louis Blues?
I love the St. Louis Blues.
The Islanders?
It says the New Jersey Devils are a team.
Doesn't Arizona have a team? Like Phoenix or Albuquerque or something? The Mighty Ducks. That's a team.
The Mighty Ducks, don't forget. It's the Arizona Coyotes, Jake.
See, I know things.
I was always confused by that. Like, what does Arizona do in playing ice hockey? But
Yeah,
hey,
what's
that's
that?
not what the show's about. We're getting completely sidetracked with the NHL. Way to
There
go,
he
John.
is. He's in. He's
Adam, we're already live. We haven't started recording yet. We just got to get your face on the live stream here.
All right.
Adam,
I love the bucket hat.
Adam, how we feeling, man? How we feeling?
I'm not good.
Adam,
for those of you who don't know me that well, my two least favorite chores are laundry and dishes, and laundry is kicking my butt. I might buy a washer and dryer for my apartment, and I don't know.
I wouldn't do that. Don't spend your money on something you hate, Adam.
Oh my god.
Don't spend your money on something you hate.
All right,
It'd be better than waiting for 2 hours for a wash, and I still got to put it in the dryer. So,
hey, all right, boys, and people who are here, don't go anywhere, boys. Everyone's still gonna be able to hear you, so we can still talk. Okay. I am going to go back to the stream starting screen, and then I'm going to share the stream in a bunch of places, but I can't do that from this screen.
Okay, so people can still hear us.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll be right back,
I
folks.
believe everyone can still hear us. Can
by
someone
the way,
just...
Jordan, it is bucket hat season.
Can someone
It's
just,
bucket hat season.
Can
I love
someone
it.
just confirm that you guys can still hear us? That would be great. Shouldn't be more than... Sorry about that.
How are you boys doing?
I'm doing the dream, man.
You froze.
I know, that's because I'm not on the screen. Right. Hold on. Alright. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to switch us back. Alright, and we should be... Can everybody move a little?
Yeah.
Adam? Move.
Adam, you good?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Look what you did, Jake. It's because you were trying to get fancy.
I know, and we lost him. Adam, he is going to be so mad. He should just leave and rejoin him.
Yeah.
He says y'all froze. Guys,
I got bad news for you.
I got it.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, this is just kind of... Hey, we appreciate everyone hanging around. Like, this is just the kind of stuff that is just happening to us today. Appreciate you guys. We're going to get into the NFL mock draft things in a second here. He left, which means he's going to come back. Technical difficulties are constant. How about the Tampa Bay Rays, 13-0, and outscoring the Denver Broncos after 17 games?
Ooh.
There he is. There he is. He's back. He's
We're
back.
back.
Joey says, let's be honest, Adam has been lost for a while.
Ooh.
It's been what?
Has been lost for a while.
Hey, Joey, I really love you as a fan, man, but hey, respectfully, sir.
Don't. Oh my
Cult
god.
of Jake is alive and well.
You're darn tootin' it is. All right, boys, why don't we just get into this? Because
Let's do it. I'm hitting record. Let's go.
Okay. And
You ready?
Adam, if we lose you, I'm going to say this with love. Don't come back.
I won't.
Okay. But don't go anywhere either because we'll miss you.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll listen.
All right. Oh, wait.
Let's hit it.
Hold on. Hold on. Oh, no. Joey is saying no audio.
Are
For
we
me?
muted, Jake?
I don't think so.
Do you want to chat Joey back? Just confirm.
Maybe.
Jake, this is the last time that you're allowed to do.
Everything is moving, but there is no audio. Well, that's weird. Oh, John hears everything. Oh, God. All right, everybody refresh.
Good, Joey is cursed.
All right, guys.
Oh, Joey, it's just
refresh,
you.
Refresh your page.
Not you, Adam.
Okay, we got it.
Okay,
All right,
he's
we're good
back,
to go.
he's back.
All right.
All right.
Guys, you guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, let's do it. Welcome back to Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. We're here to help you take the next step in your fantasy journey. My name is Jake, and I am once again joined by my friend Jordan. Jordan, how you doing?
Oh, it's a beautiful day, beautiful evening. I'm ready to mock draft. We're so close to the draft, Jake. It is just around the corner.
I know.
I'm hyped.
I love the draft. I love the draft. We are also joined by our... Oh, and if you're live on YouTube, you'll see it. We're joined by not only the coach, But Adam, who do we got here?
Her name is Cleopatra,
Of course.
after the Egyptian queen, and she runs the household, I guess. So I'm doing great. For a long day, it's all good. I'm ready to talk some mock draft, and like Jake said, the draft is right around the corner, and we're all excited. So
Adam, you worked a long day. I feel you. I worked 7 to 5:30 today, so it's
tough.
long days, man. But
Yeah.
we're here, doing the thing we love to do. So why don't we, Jordan? You'll lead the news thing, boys. I let you down. I let the people who on the live down. I let the people listening later down. I got no game for us to play today. I got nothing.
That's
Sorry.
all right. The mock draft, that's a little bit of a game. We'll kind of work through that.
Okay.
I accept that as an adequate replacement today.
Yep.
All right. Jake, before I get into news, you got to shout out. We have a shout out.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a new Patreon member, Dewan. I believe I'm saying that right. If I'm not,
Yeah, Dewan.
he will correct me later.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the fam. It's good to have you here. Appreciate it. Dewan is now part of the Dynasty League. We have 4 spots open for that still. Again, we're going to push that again more after the draft. But if you're listening to this and you want information, it's posted on our page. Otherwise, you'll see me, Jake, all over the Facebook page as well. So it's good to have him here. Good to have you here, Dewan. And here's to more people and just building this community. You know what I mean?
Love that. All right, let me hit you with some news, Jake. We got just a short amount of news before I have to.
I gotta say it. Dewan's here. He's in the chat. Dewan, good to see you.
Yeah, all right.
All right, go ahead.
All right, got to hit you with some news. So I think the biggest news out of the past week, Odell Beckham Jr. signed with the Ravens, a 1-year, $15 million deal with incentives that could make it $18 million, which is crazy.
They overpaid for him.
Holy cow, they overpaid for him. But exciting in fantasy piece. Do you think that persuades Lamar?
I don't know if it persuades him, but it definitely would get him thinking. It'll make him think a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly doesn't hurt him, right?
Yeah, the only thing I found interesting was the Ravens organization refuses to pay Lamar, but they will just overpay for a old wide receiver who hasn't played for a year when these young guys are getting way less money right now. So it is confusing, but I hope that he's fantasy relevant.
I mean,
I think he'll be overdrafted too.
Oh, he'll definitely be overdrafted.
Yeah.
So much for that whole him going to the Jets stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, 18 million is ridiculous. That's a lot of money. Good for him. I mean, good for him. Get your money.
Yeah, get money. Get your money. I love it.
We're a big fan of that.
A couple of smaller things that came out of the news. Saquon Barkley has not yet signed his franchise tag, so he has until closer to the beginning of the year to sign. But that means he's not participating in workouts and stuff. He's waiting for a deal. I don't think he's the same holdout like Lamar is, but something to keep an eye on. I didn't realize that he was trying to get a longer term deal.
Right.
He's a running back. Of course, he's trying to get a longer deal.
Yeah, but Tony Pollard doesn't seem like he's sitting around waiting for a better deal. He's going to play on the tag. So anyway, we'll see.
Just mad that he didn't get the deal, but Daniel Jones did.
I would be pissed. Are you
I'd
kidding
be
me?
mad too. Yeah. Smaller things, but it's draft related. Jeff Okudah is a cornerback played for the Lions, got traded to the Falcons. The only reason that it's worth talking about is he was the 3rd overall pick when the Lions took him, and then they just traded him to the Falcons 2 years later for a 5th round pick. So obviously not great return on your investment.
It's great. It's great for the Falcons.
Oh yeah, Falcons are making moves.
I mean,
they have to.
Well, they have to, but I mean that's a great for a team that's trying to get younger and just get better across the board. Even a bad Jeff Okudah is probably going to be better than whoever you're taking in the 5th round, right?
Right.
I mean,
yeah, totally.
So,
Mac Jones officially getting shopped around by the Patriots. I know there was rumors about it, but the news just seems to continue that Patriots are trying to shop Mac Jones around, and then they signed Trace McSorley. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there in New England, but
if I'm a betting man, though, Mac Jones is starting week 1.
Yeah, I would agree.
It does kill Mac Jones fantasy owners though.
Oh God, just brutal. I'm glad
Adam scratches his head. He's like, "Ooh."
No, I was thinking about something else.
Two more little tidbits for you. One is just the rumor mill, and I always like to bring it up. The Jets interested in DeAndre Hopkins, so they've inquired apparently.
Of course they are.
Because you can't have enough wide receivers, and don't forget they still have to somehow find a way to sign Randall Cobb. So.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, it's just a little interesting rumor there. We'll see how that plays out. And then the Commanders are up for sale. Looks like they have a buyer, $6 billion, or something crazy like that. I don't know. Not to get too political about it, but I can't wait to get that guy out of there.
Sorry, boys. We froze for a sec there. We're good, though.
Okay. Anyway, it'll be exciting to see some new leadership there in Washington.
For sure. Dan Schneider, see you later. Go have a good night.
No, don't go.
Bye-bye, buddy.
Do you want to know what the worst thing in the entire world is? So this is
that he's going to get $6 billion?
Okay, we don't need to go into all the reasons. If you're a football fan, you probably know how bad Dan Schneider is, right? He's the worst owner. Like, in professional sports, maybe James Dolan for the Knicks would be close. But other than that, and I don't know how this man didn't get pushed out, right? Like these awful things, right? He paid $800 million. Somehow this man paid $800 million, did everything wrong, and is going to get $6 billion.
Yeah. I don't love that.
Hey, more money, more problems, Dan.
Yeah, if it means he's going to jail.
Yeah.
It's just like the one thing that we'll forever miss about this time with Dan Schneider is that it was the one thing that every single NFL fan agreed with. No one was like, that Dan Schneider.
What a good guy.
He's a
great organization. Owner. Yeah. Nope.
All right. Do we have anything else, Jordan?
Nope. That's the news.
All right. Let's just catch up on the chat and we'll get into this. Some people not happy about Odell 18 million. Duan, our new Patreon member, says Ravens are his favorite team and they're out of their minds. We agree.
Yep.
Someone mentioned.
Oh, we love once we know your favorite teams. We always like to call them out. Yeah, look out.
Someone talking about that Joe Mixon take they had a few weeks ago about him getting cut. It seems more likely every day. It's true, but we don't have any news yet. We read also today that the Vikings GM was non-committal about Dalvin Cook as well. So that's something. Keep an eye on. Detroit trading Okuda means that Detroit will take a first-round pick corner in the draft.
I guess we'll see today's mock. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hey, Jordan. All right.
And then someone said Snyder looks like he recovered from that Albert Hainsworth $100 million deal. If you think back to that was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
$100 million.
That's a huge deal.
Especially for $100 million. Because now, All right. Should we get into it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull this down, say goodbye to our logo. We're going to pull this up. All right. So what we have in front of you guys is our mock draft. It's a little tiny, but, we'll have to make do. One sec, guys. Sorry, just moving everything around.
Yeah, Jake, while you're doing that, I'll kind of just explain a little bit about what the plan is here so you can focus on getting that organized. So we're going to do our own mock draft. So the three of us are going to kind of alternate picks here. So it's going to go Jordan first, then Jake, then Adam, and then it'll come back to me. So Jordan, Jake, Adam, and we'll kind of go down the list that way. This is our prediction about what is going to happen. This is not my GM hat. I'm not going to say if I was this organization, this is what I would do. So you got to factor into account just some historical trends a little bit. So whichever one of my dear colleagues here is drafting for the Packers, it would be crazy if you took a wide receiver at that. Even though it's the right thing to do, it would be weird if you did it. Again, and then we'll assume there's no trades. Everyone who's got the pick keeps the pick that they have right now.
Yeah.
So I think there will be trades. I'm sure we would all agree that on draft day at some point some of these picks will be traded. We just can't predict that, so we'll just keep it. We'll just keep it going.
All right. And anyone in the chat, I know we're gonna have people. I can't actually see you guys right now. I can see Adam and Jordan over here, but I want to look over here because I'm supposed to be talking to everybody, so I can't see anyone. So if it freezes or anything, if you guys see it, someone say something. So
yeah, you got it.
All right, I believe we said it was, what was it? Jordan, me, Adam?
Me first.
All right.
Yep.
So Jordan, start us off. Who we got going?
I'm on the clock. Adam, give me some music. Give me a little pick selection.
The pick is in.
I knew you had that. So I'm the Carolina Panthers picking at number 1 overall. I'm definitely taking a quarterback. I think we talked last week about, like, it's kind of a coin toss right now between C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. I feel like every day the news is a little different, and it depends on who's reporting it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm a little higher on C.J. Stroud, but I think the Panthers are going to take Bryce Young, number 1 overall pick. I love it. The talent is there. My only concern is his size, but he's just the best quarterback in this draft. So 100% going to be a QB, Bryce Young. Draft him.
Draft him.
Yeah.
I also think it's going to be Young at this point. I at one point said it might be Richardson after that combine, but I think it's going to be Young. What do you think, Adam? Who do you think it's going to be?
I still think it's Stroud just because of all the rumor mill coming out. And, there's smoke and mirrors. That Josh McCown comment about, hey, I'll play hoops with you when you're in Charlotte. Like, there's rumors every year. Bryce Young would be a good pick. I know I kind of hated on him last time we were on the pod, but ultimately it's a coin flip. So can't go wrong here. You got to take quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that makes my pick here interesting. There's a lot of reporting going around saying that they might not take a quarterback here. Because they like Bryce Young so much, and if they're not as high on C.J. Stroud, then they might, just take the best defensive player. There's no way. You just can't. I mean, what's the point? I guess is my question. You already are at the pick number 2. So if you're gonna suck this year, you're just hoping that you'll get pick number 1. Yeah. So I think this is a pretty easy pick. I'm going C.J. Stroud. Jordan, you said Bryce Young is the best quarterback in this draft. I think C.J. Stroud could end up being the best quarterback in this draft.
Yeah.
My opinion is that C.J. Stroud will end up being the best quarterback.
Yeah.
I think, like, if you're just looking at, like, their kind of where you put him on your big board right now, like, from college perspective, I think Bryce Young has the edge right now, like, as a prospect. If this is Jordan the GM, I'm taking Stroud, but
I think
what I think the Panthers should
do. I feel very safe saying this is how the first 2 picks are going to go, or flipped.
Agreed.
Right?
Yep.
So, all right, Adam, you have the interesting pick 3. You have the Cardinals. Let me ask you a question before you pick. Is this pick getting traded?
I honestly think it might, but ultimately I don't think it. Here's the thing we talked about last time. The Cardinals are such a dysfunctional franchise. Who knows what they're going to do? They could trade back. They could stay home if they really like a guy. But since we're acting like they're staying home, I am going to go ahead and I could go I can't go quarterback here, but I'm going to go with Will Anderson, edge. Arguably the best edge rusher in the draft, if not one of the best players, if not the best player in the draft. So I'm going to go Will Anderson. They've got to replace Zach Allen. They need a stud on defense. They have a lot of holes right now. They could build around Kyler Murray a little more if they really want to go all in with him. But Will Anderson would be the best pick here, I think, at number 3.
I think he's the best player. I think I mentioned this last week that I think that we could be looking at like a generational type of player. I think he is easily could be the best player in this draft. And if you're getting him at 3, that's perfect. I mean, if you're Arizona, you're ecstatic about where you're sitting in this draft. You could trade back, right? You could trade back to, if I'm Arizona, I'm trying to get back to like 7, right?
Yeah.
Right? You have the Raiders jump trying to get a quarterback, and you could still get a really good defensive player. So.
Yep.
Any thoughts?
It's a safe bet.
Yeah.
So.
Any
defensive head coach, new coach, defensive head coach, lost defensive pieces. It's the right call. All right, I'm next.
Yeah.
The Colts, number 4. they're going to take a quarterback here. They might even be one of those candidates to try and trade up a spot so that no one can jump them. Right now, you're between Will Levis and Anthony Richardson. I think that they're going to go with Will Levis because he has a higher floor. I think Richardson has a higher ceiling, but I think that the Colts it would be too risky of a pick. You couldn't really start him right away. You have Gardner Minshew. Is he really going to be your guy to hold him over? I think Will Levis is a little bit more of that, the more NFL ready right now. And so I think they're going to go with him. He's got a little bit of that Josh Allen, like bruiser, put his shoulder down, get some extra yards. Mm-hmm. So I think they like that. Yep. The Colts got to stop playing this QB carousel game where every year they have a different guy. So this is the year that they get their quarterback of the future.
That's interesting. I think they go Richardson. I mean, yeah. I think, yeah. Do you play? I guess it's just all philosophy. You're like you said, you want the safe guy or the one that could just end up winning you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, if I'm, again, this is not GM, Jordan.
I know.
I'm looking at an organization who just went from like Phillip Rivers to Matt Ryan. They're taking Will Levis.
Hey, whoa. You forgot Carson Wentz.
They're not taking big swings. I guess that they're looking at people who can get them to the playoffs, can be a steady presence. And I think that's Will Levis. Again, I think Anthony Richardson, sky's the limit there. Mm-hmm. I just don't think they're going to do that because he's starting. Like, they're starting their whatever quarterback they're drafting. And I don't think Anthony Richardson's ready.
And I'm higher on Richardson, too. I talked about last podcast, and his skill set's amazing. And the Colts, either way, they're going to get a guy that could be great, but you never know with those two guys. But it's a safe pick. I'm not going to fault you for it.
Yeah. Okay, let's just move on. I agree. I think it's one of those two quarterbacks, right? Oh, hey, nice cup, Jordan.
Cheers, boys.
All right, so I'm at pick 5. We got the Seattle Seahawks. They could go quarterback here, right? It's certainly possible. I think this is another spot where they could trade back, right? I think there's a few in these early spots. A bunch of teams could be moving back. This is formerly Denver's pick. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Moving on.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tyree Jackson out of Texas Tech. He's the second best edge rusher in this draft, and I think it's super close. Like, it is those two, and then there's a step down. And those guys that we'll get to probably coming up are good players, right?
It's Tyree Wilson, by the way.
What did I say?
Jackson.
Do you know who that is? Former quarterback for, I think it was Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Just a really obscure reference there.
There you go.
All right, Jake.
No, like the University of Buffalo.
Oh. No, I didn't know that.
Anyways, yeah, Tyree Wilson. I think it could be elite. He's a top 5 pick, in my opinion.
Yep.
He's a top 3 pick if all these people weren't needing quarterbacks, right? Because typically how this works is not every team needs a quarterback, right? So, just how it landed this time. But I think that he's great. They need defensive line help. They have a bunch of. I was kind of looking at corner maybe a little later on. They have a bunch of young guys there who played extremely well. And they just got Bobby Wagner back.
You pair him with a guy like Draymond Jones, who they just signed from Denver. They overpaid for him, in my opinion, but he's a really good edge rusher. So, I mean, that'd be really good.
I think it's perfect. It's just a perfect fit.
It's a classic Pete Carroll pick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is the first time they're picking in the top 5 in 13 years. So
wow.
And it's not even their pick. So next up we got Detroit. What are you thinking there, Adam?
We're picking one of my favorite guys in the draft, and
also I'm going to interrupt. I'm just going to interrupt real quickly. If you guys need me to pull up positions or something, just let me know. Okay.
Okay. So he's one of my favorite guys in the draft. He ran like a 4.3 at his pro day. He is from the University of Illinois. Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback. He just traded Jeff Okudah. Witherspoon is a stud. Played one of his best seasons last year. He's just really good. He's a good shutdown corner. Got speed, got some length to him, and he's really feisty. I mean, he plays with high motors. What the scouts have been saying. I did a little homework on him, and he played amazing in a really tough conference. Arguably, the Big Ten is the second best conference to the SEC. and you can't go wrong with that guy. He's probably a day one start. He's going to be a day one starter, but he's going to be a day one improver of that defense. And I think Aaron Glenn, the D coordinator, is going to get a rock star for his defense here.
Yeah. I think he should be the first pick or first corner off the board.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the Lions got torched last year in every game they played, so they're reworking that whole secondary. That's the right pick. It's going to be something. It's going to be a corner.
It's a Dan Campbell pick. It's perfect, right?
Yep.
Bite their kneecaps, baby.
Bite their
All right,
kneecaps. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I'm next.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get the Raiders. I'm super tempted.
I know.
To take Richardson here behind Jimmy G. They just signed Jimmy G to a 3-year deal. I don't think they'll do it. I think that they're also licking their chops because Jalen Carter is still there. And if there's one team that has no issues with drafting people really high that have off-the-field issues, it is the Raiders. So I think this is a match made in heaven. I think it's lucky for them that there was kind of a run on QBs a little higher. I think some of the off-the-field issues pushed Jalen Carter down, who could be considered the best prospect in this draft. So I think they're taking Jalen Carter at number 7. I was also looking at some offensive line pieces here because of fragile Jimmy G, but I think if Jalen Carter's sitting here at 7, they won't pass it up.
A lot of mocks agree with you as I was looking today. So, I mean, he talent-wise, like we talked about, great talent-wise. Off the field troubles, in the locker room troubles, but the Raiders love that guy, or like that type of guy. So
I'd probably go tackle. I think that's more likely. If they're not going to take the quarterback, they're going to try and keep him upright, keep Jimmy G upright. But yeah, I don't have a problem with it. He's the best player. So that's like a best player available thing. So
yeah, I think if this is how it plays out, this is like the Raiders are stressed in a good spot where they could take potentially the best prospect, they could get the best tackle on the board, or Richardson could be sitting there if they wanted to get someone to sit behind Jimmy G. All of which could be interesting for the Raiders.
So that means I'm up. Sorry, I moved some stuff. Sorry, 1 second, friends. Okay,
Falcons, Jake.
Yeah, I got it. So I have the Falcons. This is interesting because it's just I'm lost for words. It's super interesting because are they really gonna pass on Richardson because they believe in Ritter? Like that, it'd be really, really tough to move on from him, right?
It's tough taking quarterbacks back-to-back years, rookies. You know, I mean,
yeah. I think I've shown this with how I have talked about past people. You just don't do that, right? You don't take back-to-back high quarterback rookies. It's the same way reason I have that feeling about Trey Lance, right? Is because if you're going to take him, you start him, right? Maybe it's old school thinking, right? But there's just no way they take Richardson here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to scroll down a little. And I am going to go with Lucas Van Ness. I think that he is... Adam doesn't like it. I think that him and Miles Murphy are the next best edge rushers. And I would give it... I would give it more of a likely that Van Ness goes off. I just think that the motor is a little higher. You just talked about him in the Big Ten. I just really like him. I don't feel good about this 8th pick with how the board has landed right now. Like, if this is how it's went and you're Atlanta, I'm not feeling too hot, right? Maybe a trade down. I could totally see Miles Murphy, right? It's just personal preference here for me. So I think that's where we would go.
Yeah.
If you were to, wherever Miles Murphy goes later on, if you were to flip him, I would have no problem, right?
Yep.
It's just kind of how I would do it.
I'm just really high on the kid, and that's why, like, if I'm a GM of another team, which I was hoping he'd slide a little bit, I'm disappointed. That's why I had the reaction I did. He's a rock star. That Iowa defense was screaming like a Hawkeye this last year. You know, they were just on fire. Big fan, so you knocked it out of the park. I mean, if you, like you said, you're in a tough spot there at 8.
I'd be looking to trade. If that's where I'm at and how the board has landed, I'm looking to trade out.
Yep.
Well, Adam, why don't you give the Chicago Bears here, and I think we will all agree with what you're about to do.
I don't know that you will because we
Oh,
debated it last
jeez.
time. The mock we dissected had this guy here, and the more I thought about it, I liked it. Jackson Smith Najigba is how you say his name, by the way. I'm going all in with the offense. We're building around Justin Fields. You get arguably one of the best receivers in the draft, arguably the best receiver in the draft. He's a guy that can produce right away. It kills fantasy owners who are high on Mooney, but ultimately you get a guy that's going to help Justin Fields. I'm big. I could have gone offensive line here, right? We debated that last time on the show. Could have gone Paris Johnson. Could have gone Peter Skoronski.
Yep.
But I think just Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be too tempting for the Bears here. Take him, and you got a centerpiece who could be a 1 in a few years here.
Yeah, I think Jordan and I were on the same page, right? Nick?
That it was not going to be that.
Yeah.
That it was going to be somewhere on the
I figured you guys would think O-line. I think.
Yeah, I think O-line is what I would expect, but I would be a little surprised, but it wouldn't be like crazy.
No,
like if they weren't going to take an offensive lineman, like that's who they would probably take sitting there at number 9.
Yeah.
But I think they could also be a candidate if they're really interested in receiver. They could be a candidate to trade out of this spot too and trade back even further.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
to have someone jump them.
For me, it's Paris Johnson would be the offensive tackle to take.
Agreed.
But Jordan, why don't you make this pick and then we'll recap the top 10.
All right, so at pick 10, we got the Eagles. I'm super tempted. I know I get tempted a lot with these picks to take Robinson. I mean, that would be crazy to take him in the 10 spot. It's kind of a luxury pick for the Eagles because they got it from New Orleans. I think realistically they're taking some help at linebacker or edge here.
Okay.
So Miles Murphy is someone that I'm considering here. I think Nolan Smith from Georgia is another one. He's a little more of that linebacker role. So both of them would be a good fit. I think the Eagles defense saw a lot of people walk. I think most notably to the 49ers was that Javon Hargreaves, right?
Yeah.
Went there. So I think they need to replace him. So I think I'm going to go Miles Murphy.
All right.
Here to Philadelphia. I think we're excited that he fell here. I was thinking like Van Ness or Nolan Smith because I didn't think Miles Murphy would be here, but we're happy taking him.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. You replaced with Hargreaves, right? It's a luxury pick. You were just in the Super Bowl, and you're picking at pick 10.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be. Hey, look out! Bijan Robinson might go here too. That'd be crazy. I'd like it.
Boy. All right, let's recap the top 10. We got Bryce Young going to Carolina, Stroud going to Houston, Will Anderson going to Arizona. Then Jordan had Will Levis going to the Colts, Tyree Wilson to the Seattle Seahawks, Devin Witherspoon to Detroit, Jalen Carter to the Raiders, Lucas Van Ness going to Atlanta, Jackson Smith Najigba going to Chicago, and then Miles Murphy to the Eagles. Let's check.
We had no linemen.
I know, and I don't like that. That's where I feel like we're
unrealistic.
Yeah. Just checking the chat quick. Some thoughts of people of saying who should have went somewhere. Raiders should have taken Christian Gonzalez, the corner. Yeah, I could totally see that. The Panthers did it. We were talking about Atlanta, right? Taking a second-round quarterback and then a first-round quarterback the following year with Jimmy Clausen and Cam Newton. So that's
Jimmy
good.
Clausen, baby.
Yeah.
Notre Dame legend.
And then Joey says, bananas start to the mock. Love to hear where we went wrong. That's where you guys tell us.
Yep.
I think it's, in my opinion, it's pretty good. I think that the pick 8 and 4 are what's a little odd, right? The Atlanta, Lucas Van Ness, and then for me, I don't think Will Levis goes before.
Interesting. The more I researched it, it does not seem like Colts are interested, like are really high on Richardson.
Well, let's just go ahead and do it now then, because if Anthony Richardson is falling to Tennessee, he's going there. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. I think they might even trade up to try and get him.
So they can get out of the Ryan Tannehill deal after this upcoming year. It's perfect. If they draft him, he could sit and not play for a year, right?
Yep.
And for whatever you think of Ryan Tannehill, he's been a starter in the league a long time. He's a smart guy, right? Perfect guy to sit behind. I think this is a spot also where you could see Levis. If like, again, it's flipped, right? Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I just don't think Malik Willis is it. I mean, you watched him; he just looks so lost. It's been a while since we've seen someone that lost, right? So yeah, I think Richardson's here. The upside is massive, just massive. Pairing him with Traylon Burks, I think is great. I could totally see a receiver here as well, just because they don't really they have the corpse of Robert Woods on the other side. So, but yeah, give me Anthony Richardson here. I think this is again. It's always tough when you take a guy that's not going to play, right? He's not going to play immediately this early, but I think this is the right pick, right?
Yeah.
Right. Why don't you get pick 13 for the Jets, Adam? Totally
or
not
12
good.
for the Texans.
12 for the Texans.
Forget it. Just
so
stupid idea. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Stupid.
I love the wide receivers in this draft. I talked about him last time. He's probably my third favorite guy behind Devin Witherspoon and Luke Van Ness. But we're going to go Quentin Johnson here, getting some help for the Houston Texans quarterback room with a rookie quarterback now. I think Johnson is a stud. I said that last time. Watching him in that Michigan game, he just lit it up. He has the ability to moss people right now out of the gate. So you can't go wrong here. Quentin Johnston, I'm sure it's going to have a little mixed feelings with our fans. But ultimately, if I'm a Texans fan, we got two offensive potential stars, and Quentin Johnston could give them memories of the good old Andre Johnson era. So give me Quentin Johnston here.
I agree. Hey, guys, don't make me look dumb. Robert Woods is in Houston, and neither of you said anything. Dang it. We're supposed to be professionals.
We are. Adam and I are just fine. Yeah.
All right.
Joey, appreciate you throwing something out there. Thank you. I like the pick. I think I think a quarterback first and a receiver with the second first round pick is very likely to happen.
I agree with that. It feels like D'Amico Ryans is gonna take a defensive player with one of those.
You
picks.
said that last week, yeah.
Yeah, I feel strongly like you're a defensive head coach, you're taking over a new team, it needs help everywhere, and you're just going to let the first round go without a defensive player. It seems unlikely, and not that it is. And that's just very much because of the head coach. But he could also realize like they need help on offense.
Maybe he's trying to break the stigma of defensive coaches saying, hey, we got to adapt to the game too.
Yeah, which is just skill positions.
I don't know.
All right, I'm going next. I get the Jets, and if I'm the Jets here, I am just giggling to myself because no offensive linemen have been taken. So I'm going to take the best offensive lineman, which is Paris Johnson. So we're just taking him. We're taking a tackle, getting him there, plug and play. We're still trying to get Aaron Rodgers. That deal is not yet done. Get him some offensive line help. I think that's the biggest risk right now with the Jets. I think they have a great roster that the Jets do. And so I think where they need help is just offensive line. Keep Aaron Rodgers upright, the old man, keep him standing, and get hopefully another year or two out of him.
Yeah, I think that's an easy pick. An easy pick. You know, like you said, you're helping Aaron Rodgers for whenever he inevitably gets there, and you're also helping whoever's there after him, right?
Yeah.
So I think easy pick. I think it also makes the next pick easy. I'm gonna also go tackle here. They're in need of offensive line help. I mean, if they are gonna stay with Mac Jones, you need to be able to keep him upright because he is the least mobile quarterback in the NFL. Also, I mean, I just am thinking, like, it would be super interesting if Anthony Richardson was still there or Will Levis is still there. They're talking about shopping him.
Would they take someone?
Would they do it? You know, it'd be interesting. It'd be super interesting. But
Hendon Hooker's still there right now too on our board. So
I love me some Hendon Hooker. Yeah, so Peter Skoransky, I think that Paris Johnson is the best tackle in this draft. I also think that Peter Skoransky, is not far behind. So it's close, but give me Peter Skoransky here to keep him up. And then, of course, Adam gets the Packers.
Yeah, love that.
Love that.
You guys put me in such a tough spot here. They have needs.
Everybody has
needs. And honestly, it's... What's that?
Nothing, go ahead.
Okay. It's kind of fun to have the Packers here, and I'm sure I'll get some heat no matter what I take here for the Packers. But ultimately what I'm going to do here is take the other edge guy or D-line guy from Georgia. Van Ness is off the board. They could have taken him here if he slid. I'm going to go Nolan Smith out of Georgia. They need an edge rusher who's going to be a game changer. Could have gone receiver. That would have made Packer fans happy, right? They probably will take an offensive lineman, which is not sexy, but a lot of Packer fans are used to that. But I'm going to go Nolan Smith. I think he's a good talent. Obviously comes from a winning culture, knows how to win in the biggest conference that's closest to the NFL in talent. Going to go Nolan Smith here.
Yeah, I'm, as a Packer fan, hoping for Nolan Smith. I am hoping for one of the tight ends. For me, it's Michael. Is it Mayer?
I thought about Michael Mayer here. Yeah. I did. I honestly did.
I really like Brian Branch, the safety, because we do not have a safety right now.
It's kind of high to take a safety.
I understand. Adrian Amos is not on the team. It is Rudy Ford. And it is high for a safety, but...
Is Amos a free agent?
He is right now. Yeah, no one has signed him.
Do you think they would bring him back in an emergency role with a cheap contract?
I think they would bring him back. Not even emergency. They bring him back to be a starter. The problem is they have all this money. They can't do anything until Aaron Rodgers is gone. So I think there's a chance Amos still ends up on the Packers. So, but yeah. So this says that we also need a quarterback. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh! All right.
No way.
Don says Packers need everything. We know. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan.
All right. I'm up next. So I'm here with the newly owned Washington Commanders. They also just need a lot of stuff. So I'm looking right now, and I see Christian Gonzalez in there. I got to take him. So got to take Christian Gonzalez. The secondary is just a major need for the Commanders. I don't even know any guys that are Kendall Fuller maybe still on their secondary. Yeah. Maybe. And then the rest. I don't have another name. So I think Christian Gonzalez could be a top 10 pick. So to get him here at 16 without making any trades is really great. If Christian Gonzalez was gone, I would consider Joey Porter Jr. here as well as a corner. They also need offensive line help. They just kind of need a little bit of everything there in Washington. So I'm taking Christian Gonzalez.
That's a great pick because the Steelers are also, I think, going to go with corner. And, excuse me, they're probably pretty bummed. If Gonzalez is there at 16, if Gonzalez is there at 15, I could see the Packers moving back. Because if the Steelers could possibly jump the football team, or the Commanders. They have so many names in the last 5 years.
But Jake, you don't think that the Steelers would be hyped about Joey Porter Jr.?
I would. I would think that. I'm going to say Banks, the corner out of Maryland.
What?
I think he is better, and the story is great. Woohoo!
The pedigree. Right?
Yeah, I think Banks is better.
Wow.
Corners are really hit and miss, so it makes me nervous, right? But I think that he is the better pick here. I really don't like where tackle is sitting this early. But if you want Joey Porter Jr. instead, that's fine. I just think the upside with Banks is pretty high. So, Adam, why don't you take us to Detroit? If you recall, they took Witherspoon with their first pick.
Yep, and I think they're going to load up on defense this draft. I just think, their offense has pieces there. They could maybe go O-line here, but their D-line is hurting. I'm going to try and say his name correctly, but he's out of Pittsburgh, out of the ACC. Kalijah Cansey. I am going with him out of Pittsburgh. Again, that shores up the defensive line. Your secondary got better. I honestly think even with the departure of Okudah, if you draft Devin Witherspoon and they made their acquisitions with, Gardner in the offseason here, you shored up your secondary. Now you get a guy like Kalijah Cansey who can maybe own the middle there and control the gaps. So it's not a sexy pick, but I think they're going to load up on defense because their offense right now, even with Jared Goff, who we all have mixed feelings for, and I like Jared.
I like Jared Goff.
Yep, he's efficient. He does what he does. But anyway, this is another Dan Campbell pick. This is the guy that's going to own the trenches, be feisty, bite their kneecaps, and he's going to shore up that defensive front a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good pick. That's probably what I'd go to. He's plug and play, right? It's probably probably really good value too. for where we're at. Jordan, you got the Buccaneers. We know Don is watching. He's been talking in the chat here. What do you think?
I was really hoping that I would have like an obvious choice here, like based on what happened above. But I'm looking here and I see Hendon Hooker sitting here. And that could be a tempting pick. I think 19's a little early, but I also think when we're talking quarterbacks, they could consider like, hey, it's time for a rebuild. Let's pick him up. He'd have an option to sit behind Baker. I think that sucks for Baker, but who cares? It's good for the organization. I also like Bijan Robinson here as a running back for going to a team that was dead last in rushing in the NFL. So that could be just a helpful boost. I don't think Rachaad White is that, but all of a sudden I like Rachaad White if it's change of pace back behind Bijan Robinson. But I think I got to do the smart and sensible thing, which is pick up an offensive lineman. They had so many guys walk. I think you got to pick up someone to boost the offensive line. I'm taking Broderick Jones from Georgia.
Good pick because he slipped a little bit here.
Yeah,
yep. I think he slipped. I think it all kind of stems off that Chicago pick not being a lineman. Kind of pushes some of that talent down the board. But again, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they took Hendon Hooker. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Bijan Robinson. But I think they'll do the smart thing and say, we already have Kyle Trask. We already have Baker Mayfield. We got to roll the dice.
Yeah.
Jake, you don't look like you agree.
No, it's fine. I think this is really where we could. I really think you could see Bijan Robinson going. I really do.
I think so too. I'm tempted.
I like the pick. It's a safe pick. It's good. I think you can't take Hooker yet, right? But
Don gave the stamp of approval in the chat.
Well, if Don likes
take that, boys. Come on.
Here's the thing too. You maybe could get Bijan Robinson later in the early second round because again, running backs are kind of taboo right now in the first round. So maybe they trade up, and after getting an old lineman, that helps the running game. So I don't necessarily hate this pick.
No, it's I agree. You're right. So I'm at pick 20 with Seattle. This is tough. This is a tough spot. They already took Tyree Wilson, not Jackson. So do they go defensive line again? Right?
They might. Pete Carroll loves his dominant defensive line.
But what I am going to do is I am going to go ahead. Where is he? There you go. I'm going to go with the first interior offensive lineman. I'm going to go Joe Tippin out of Wisconsin. Sexy? Not at all. But, a guy that will plug and play. He will start. And they need it. They just need it. And it seems like, there's always at least one or interior offensive lineman that'll go in the first round. And they're always a Pro Bowler their first year. Unless they get hurt. And I think Joe Tippin is that guy. Maybe a little early, right? But I think
a lot of mocks didn't even have him in the first. But I mean, like you say, he's a good talent. Sorry for the motorcycle guys. It's hot in my apartment. I have the windows open.
This is
Go ahead.
Who did the Patriots take last year in the first round? That was just a hilarious pick.
Okay.
Way too early.
I don't know. Go ahead.
That's who this guy is. Just
okay.
For the Seahawks. It doesn't matter. I'm going to forget this guy's name anyway. Yeah, even though he went to Wisconsin.
All right. I think it's a good pick. Whatever. Go ahead.
Jake, I'm on Team Jake here.
This is a Pete Carroll pick right here.
Yeah. Got to shore up the trenches on both sides.
Go ahead.
All right. So I have the Chargers, and hey, as a GM, I am licking my chops here because on offense, we need some weapons. I am tempted as heck to take Michael Mayer, my boy from Notre Dame. I'm a Notre Dame fanatic. He is head above heels, the best tight end in the draft in my mind. But after we talked about it, and we all kind of disagreed with it, but it made sense. I'm picking Jordan Addison. I am picking him, and here's why. The tandem of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Mike Williams is built like, what are some flaky crackers that break apart easily? That's what I think of him. Like a Ritz cracker that's gotten really flaky. That's him. So Jordan Addison, I think he's a guy that will contribute right away. It's going to kill Jordan Poyer. I don't care. I want Jordan Addison. He can make a claim to be one of the best receivers, if not the best in the argument. Receivers in the draft. I'm going to pick Jordan Addison here. Why'd you say no, Jordan?
Because I was going to take him with the Ravens next.
That's a good pick. It's a great pick for, I think, a receiver here, whoever it may be, is a lock. I'm going to say it's a lock. Book it. Like, they need someone. Keenan Allen's old, and Mike Williams is made of straw.
Yeah.
So
Straw.
All of the mocks that I see have him taking a wide receiver or a tight end.
Yep.
Yep. All right, so I'm the Ravens now. I'm sitting here. Give me Hendon Hooker. Come on.
Oh, no.
It is time to move past
Don't
Lamar.
do this.
It is
Don't
time.
do this.
It's time to move past Lamar.
Jordan, you're going to mess up everything we're doing here.
Oh,
Man.
all right. Okay, if we're let's take a step back because boys, I might need a little help with this because I was dialed in to a wide receiver on that one. I think the wide receiver talent in the first round is gone. I think maybe towards the tail end. I think we're looking at guys like Zay Flowers.
I think Zay Flowers could be a first round pick.
Jalen Hyatt is another one that I'm looking at in the first round. I think Jordan Addison would be the dream scenario here for
not today.
for the Ravens. I've seen tight ends go. I don't love that for them.
I'd go corner. I'd go Joey Porter
Corner,
Jr.
yeah. Let's do Joey. You might be right. Yeah, I think that might be the
hold on,
one
whoa,
spot
whoa.
that they need.
You picked Hendon Hooker, baby.
No.
No. Don't lock that in. Don't lock that in. That would be a real sign they're moving off Lamar, and I don't think I realistically don't think that's what they're. I think they want to keep Lamar as they should.
Yeah.
But if there is something crazy that happens earlier in the draft, right, like they trade Lamar and they get some other picks, like I would look at Hooker as well as someone that could end up there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you're right, Jake. I think corner is the right spot or is the right position to look for. So let's take Joey Porter Jr. Sorry for the scare there, guys.
No, it's all right. I think receiver isn't likely here. I mean, you got Odell. I like Rashad Bateman.
And
Devin
the others?
Duvernay. All right, fair enough.
Yeah. I think if you're trying to keep Lamar or say like, hey, we're doing right by you, a first round receiver is the smart choice by the organization to pick up someone there. So unless everyone's gone, I could see them taking one of the three, Adam, that you had taken in earlier picks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so I'm at 23 with the Minnesota Vikings. I think this is a sneaky spot for Hooker.
Oh, that's why you didn't want me to take him.
I'm not going to take him.
You.
But I think this is a sneaky spot for him. They can get out of the Kirk Cousins thing next year as well. I'm not going to go there. But I think it is sneaky. I also think you were wrong, Jordan. I don't think you said, oh, we're done with first round receivers. Nay, I say. Zay Flowers. There's reporting that he is the number one receiver on a bunch of different rosters or people who are their draft boards. Excuse me. He's fast. He's good. I think, and they have a very big need. I think quietly people are forgetting that their wide receiver 2 is KJ Osborne right now, who I think is capable of doing it, but they need receiver help badly. So I think that Zay Flowers is the pick here.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so happy.
Okay, great. You're up.
Yeah, in Jacksonville right now, you made that pick, and we are throwing out fireworks, baby. You know why?
Why?
We can't believe this guy slid this far. Michael Mayer, baby, lock it in. The guy from Notre Dame. We get Trevor Lawrence, some help, and a very good tight end who is going to light it up for years. Why are you doing that, Jake? Come on, buddy.
They have Evan Ingram.
Doesn't matter.
He just had a career year.
I don't care. Bye-bye, Evan Ingram. You're
Bye-bye.
He's going to fade away.
Dang it, Adam.
They need another tight end, man, who's going to eventually be better than Evan Ingram, and that is Michael Mayer, baby.
Okay, so we knew his homer here would pop through somewhere.
Hold on,
And
one more
there it
time.
is.
One second, hold on. Fireworks going off in.
That's bonkers.
No way.
I don't see that happening.
No, that is
There's been
bonkers.
mocks having them take Kincaid out of Utah.
Yikes. Just yikes. I really just don't see it.
That's
Especially,
all I get from you schmucks is yikes.
yeah, because
I mean, it could be cool. Like if I was a Trevor Lawrence fantasy owner, I'd be excited about it, and then
Oh
that's
my
it.
gosh.
yeah. All right, Jordan, move on, please.
Oh, it's me next,
Yes.
huh? All right, I get the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Also, this is where I was thinking maybe Zay Flowers could be a good spot as a wide receiver because they definitely need some help. I think that I'm looking at maybe Jalen Hyatt here as another wide receiver, but I think the Giants' bread and butter is the run game, whether it's their running backs doing it or their quarterback doing it. So I think they need some interior line help. So I'm taking Osiris Torrance from Florida. So he's a guard. I think that putting him there just helps a bunch.
It's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yep.
It
Solid.
definitely helped him out. That means I am up. So here's where does Bijan go here? Like that's the
That's
biggest thing. Like there's been so much reporting that he's gonna go there.
Yeah.
And you could go Bijan here, you could go Brian Branch, safety. I know they don't need one, but this is best player available. Brian Breesy, interior offensive lineman, right? They could go Kincaid. They need a tight end. All they have is Jake Ferguson right now, right? And here's the, if Robinson doesn't go here, he's gonna go next. Would be my guess. So I'm. You know what? I'm torn. I'm torn.
You got it. It's either Kincaid or Robinson.
That's my thought. It's close.
Be Jerry Jones right now. Be Jerry Jones,
No, I
Jake.
can't
Who are
be
you
Jerry.
taking? This is so easy. Who
I
are you
know.
taking? You're Jerry Jones.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Bijan. He gets there. He gets there, and I mean, this is a generational type player. This kind of pick we've been talking about for weeks kills Pollard, if that's the case. So that would be something that would be real interesting to talk.
Yep.
All right, go ahead, Adam. Let's finish this up.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I really am. I wanted him. I wanted Robinson here, but ultimately, there's other needs here. I'm torn too. There's needs on the D line. There's needs on the O line. I got to go Anton Harrison here out of Oklahoma. Get a versatile O lineman to help out the Bills and help out Josh Allen in that offense a little bit. It's not a flashy pick. It's not a sexy pick, but it's something they need because Josh Allen, I mean, there's so many times he's running for his life, and he can do it. He's a playmaker for sure, but I think Harrison here is a good pick.
Yeah, I could totally see that. You can never have too many offensive linemen. They do need defensive back help, but it's not as terrible. But yeah, I don't mind the pick at all. Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I think we're getting to some of these teams where like you just take the player that is like the best.
Yeah, so why don't you do
just
that quick for the Cincinnati Bengals because they clearly need a position help here.
I don't know what you're thinking here. I think they need a lot of secondary help.
Okay, go ahead.
Is that what you were thinking?
I was
You're
not.
thinking
I was going
you
to
were
go
gonna
Kincaid.
Kincaid.
Who is
So
their
I'm
tight
looking
end
here
right
and they just signed Irv Smith.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I would have said Kincaid for sure, but they have Irv Smith. Maybe they're thinking, oh, that'll be a holdover. I just think their secondary needs help. They need cornerbacks. They need safety. So I was going to take Brian Branch.
That's a great pick.
Safety.
That's fantastic. I do not believe at all that Brian Branch is still there at pick 28 with how this works out. I think he's just too talented.
Yeah,
I love a good,
it's just safety,
I love a
which
good
you're
Alabama
kind of thinking like,
safety.
yeah, but I think like positionally, it's kind of like running back, right? Where it's like the talent is definitely there, but just the positional value is lower.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they don't go.
Yeah, so then I'm the Saints. I'm gonna go with Brian Breesy. I think he's just the best fit, like for what they need, right? I think he's the best available player. So I think that's just kind of a quick, easy thing to do.
Yeah.
So then you got the last two picks here. You got the Eagles.
I've got the last two.
No, I'm sorry. You just have the next one, but there's only two picks left.
Okay, yeah. The Eagles lost Gardner in free agency. I think they need secondary help. They lost a lot of guys. I heard, their owner says it's not a rebuild. We're loading up again to win. Well, in today's NFL, if you don't got a good secondary, you need to draft a guy here, and he's a guy that's slipped a little bit. Emmanuel Forbes is going to be my guy here out of Mississippi State. He's a cornerback. He's versatile, can play in the slot, can play on the outside. Going to rock with him. I mean, you can't go wrong with the corner here. He's still really highly rated. Should be a first-round pick of mine.
Yeah, I like the pick. Excuse me.
You're yawning with my pick? What the heck?
No,
Wow.
man. I have a baby and I have 4 hours of sleep every night. I'm tired.
All right.
Jordan, what do you got?
Let's bring it home. Huh? Last pick, Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champs. I think they need one of 3 positions, and it's just going to be whichever one is the best player for them. They need a wide receiver for sure, but they always seem to live without him. They lost Orlando Brown to the Bengals, to rivals. They could take a tackle here, and then they lost Frank Clark, so they could take an edge rusher here. I think this is hard to predict, but I would like them to take
so far.
I would like them to take Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver.
I like that pick. I think he's mocked. He's mocked a lot of the time. Going there again, a luxury pick.
Yeah, but you win the Super Bowl, so you're allowed. Same with like the Eagles on that last one. You're allowed to do it.
If you have Mahomes, I mean, that's the thing. You're going to have production from this guy, unless he's Sammy Watkins and tears his hammy every year. Sorry, Sammy. You got Mahomes, so it's a good pick.
Yeah.
We were supposed to get a grade, but it's fine. We didn't get a grade for this.
That's all right. Hey, the court of public opinion, we'll post it.
Yes.
Yep.
We'll
So I think,
later.
I'm looking at the chat here, and it looks like I think there's some surprising things that people have thought are surprising. I think there's some folks that agree with some things as well. So it'll be interesting. We'll get this. Jake, do you think we can get this up on Facebook and we let people judge us there, and then we'll see if we're right or not.
Oh, we're definitely right.
If we got every pick right, we should get something from our community here. I don't know.
Yeah,
a birthday party. All right.
We like Subway subs.
I'll get you a cameo from Miles Sanders.
Oh God. Okay. You guys. So there you go, guys. That's our mock. I'm not exactly sure what we have planned for next week. It's our last one before the draft, so I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll let you know.
We'll pull something together.
Yeah, we'll pull something together. You can find us on Facebook at the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. Make sure you follow us there because that's where most of the communication is going. We're live right now on YouTube, youtube.com/Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. We always go live for episodes, so if you're listening to this later or watching it later, just follow us on Facebook and you'll be able to know when we're going to be live and you can be part of this chat. The people in the chat, thank you for hanging out with us. If you're listening on wherever you're listening to podcasts, thank you for supporting us. We have a Patreon, bunch of benefits you can get from that. It's on our Facebook page. And we have exclusive leagues that we're going to be pushing here soon. But until then, Jordan, Adam, you guys got anything to say?
No, have a good night.
Go Broncos, go Irish, go Tigers, baby, and go Twins.
And go Twins. All right, you guys take care. Be good.
Heyo.
Good job. We are okay. We are still live, by the way.
Hey, I was thinking maybe like we could work this in maybe the last 15 minutes or something next week, depending on what we do or decide. Open forum. Let the community members ask us questions about anything fantasy related, anything life related, and just open forum. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's good. I also think that we're running into an issue, and it's not an issue for anyone who's listening. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
But we're pushing like hour-long episodes now.
Yep.
Which is fine.
We love the banter. We bounce off each other well.
All right.
We'll focus up.
Guys, we'll be back next week. Appreciate everyone hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thanks for joining the Patreon. Anyone who's in here who's done that. If you want to, it's on our Facebook page, or you can just get in contact with one of us. You guys are all pretty OGs, so I'm pretty sure you guys know how to do that.
Yep.
But until next week, we'll see you on Facebook probably.
Hey, real quick. John, I know you're listening. The Twins have a better record than the Cardinals. That's all I got to say. Jake, end it now.
Take care. Be good.